Have you ever thought of fatalism and its consequences? If you have some valuable knowledge about the topic, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. Fatalism and its negative consequences. With regard to determinism and fatalism, by the way, in case you don't know what determinism is, it's the concept which a person's thoughts, words, and actions are determined by factors other than himself or herself. In other words, the person who makes the decision is not really in control of himself or herself. Instead, something else is determining that person's decision. For example, the person's emotions or the society around them. As I was saying, with regard to determinism and fatalism, the fact is, determinism, both from the naturalistic and theistic perspective, for example, lead to fatalism. What are the implications of fatalism with regard to moral choices, thoughts, and beliefs? Here's the first one. People create excuses and blame others for the wrong decisions they make. For example, the reason I steal things is because my friends or God made me do it. Number two, it encourages people to be apathetic and lazy. Number three, it serves as an excuse for people to remain in bad habits. And finally, number four, it encourages people to maintain false beliefs. I'm going to go back and review each point and give a solution for each problem. So the first point, people create excuses and blame others for the wrong decisions they make, whether it's their society, whether it's their family, friends, or from a theistic perspective, God. So in that sense, that person can excuse himself or herself by saying, well, I was hungry, or my friends made me do it, or I have to feed my family. The solution to such a problem is to tell the person that they do have a choice to not steal the bread, because that person has free will. Now, moving on to the second consequence of fatalism, it encourages people to be apathetic and lazy. If fatalism is true, in a sense that a person cannot do anything to affect the future, and that person would be justified in saying, well, there's nothing I can do to produce a good outcome, so I might as well just not do anything about it. The solution to that problem is to tell them that in reality they can make a positive impact on the future. They can make a significant positive impact on himself or herself as well as others. And you can help them do that by setting a good example. The third consequence of fatalism is, again, it serves as an excuse for people to remain in bad habits. I'll give an example. Eating junk food. Again, if fatalism is true, then the person would be justified in maintaining the bad habit of eating junk food. So that person can say, well, I guess I was predestined to eat junk food, so I'm just going to keep doing it unless something happens that makes me stop eating junk food. The solution to that problem is to let the person know that they do have a choice to they do have a choice to stop eating junk food, and that they can adopt the good habit of eating healthy food instead, like fruits and vegetables. You can encourage them to do that by not only setting a good example, but also comparing and contrasting the the consequences of eating junk food versus eating healthy foods, fruits and vegetables. And the fourth and final consequence of fatalism that I wrote down is it encourages people to maintain false beliefs. Well, I wrote down keep, but I'm just saying the word uh, maintain instead. If determinism and fatalism are true, then the person that person is justified in maintaining the belief that, for example, the reason why animals cannot be treated with dignity is because they have no soul. They were determined to have that belief by either the media or the chemicals in their brain that cause them to feel that way, or they may believe that God has given them that belief, which personally I don't believe. The solution to that is to tell them that it's not true, that you are determined to have that false belief. The media Only the media or people in society in general can give you the suggestion that animals cannot be treated with dignity. People provide that suggestion. Whether you believe it or not, whether you have that, whether you embrace that belief or not, is totally up to you and not up to them. Moreover, you do have a choice to adopt another belief that animals do need to be treated with dignity, because as the saying goes, treat others the way you want to be treated.